Soundcore has just upgraded its popular Liberty Air 2 true wireless earphones with active noise cancellation, improved sound quality, and much more. This is Liberty Air 2 Pro. The Soundcore brand has become increasingly popular over the past year or so, with successful launches of both the Liberty 2 Pro and Liberty Air 2. Now, Soundcore did release a couple more budget-friendly options with active noise canceling last year, but now they're upgrading their more top-of-the-line models. So yes, Liberty Air 2 Pro is the first in the Liberty Air series to feature active noise cancellation, but that is far from the only upgrade here. Let's start off with the design. The first major physical change you'll see is the charging case. It now features a sliding mechanism, similar to Liberty 2 Pro, but the size of the case is about the same as the old Air 2s. It still has a USB-C port on the back for charging, but you can also just drop it on a wireless charger. Now, in terms of battery life, we're looking at the same 7-hour playtime as before for the earbuds on a single charge, but the case extends that to 26 hours, which is just a couple hours less than before. As for the earbuds themselves, the design has been refined a little bit, but they're basically the same as the previous version. The stems are still a little long, but for me, they fit in my ears so quite a bit better than the old Air 2s. And if the default tips don't create a good seal for you, Soundcore has you covered with an insane 8 additional sizes included in the box. Now, if you plan on using these for working out, I will say that they might try to wiggle loose on you. At least for me, they did not feel as secure as Soundcore's Spirit Dot 2, which had a really snug fit. But of course, fit is very subjective and depends not only on the size of your ears, but also the shape. It can take some trial and error. It's also worth noting that these are rated IPX4 water resistant, so they should be fine getting a little sweat on them, but I definitely wouldn't want to submerge these underwater. Okay, now let's talk about the app. Yes, Liberty Air 2 Pro is compatible with the same Soundcore app you all know and love, available on iOS and Android. This allows you to choose from 22 preset EQ profiles, and what's really cool is that if you find a profile that you really like but want to tweak it just a little bit, you can customize it straight from there. Or you can build your own EQ from scratch. And there's still Soundcore's Hear ID feature, which will give you a hearing test and create the best sound profile for your ears. Now in terms of sound quality, and oh boy, these do not disappoint. Now, as a disclaimer, I am not an audiophile, but I was honestly shocked at how much better these sound than the old Air 2s. They are much clearer and much more full sounding. It almost feels like I'm wearing a pair of over-ear headphones. I don't know if this is because of Soundcore's new PureNote technology, but whatever it is, I have no complaints with the audio quality. And that leads me into the active noise canceling and transparency modes. I'm going to start out with a bit of a gripe I have, and that's within the active noise canceling mode, there are 3 separate modes: transport mode, indoor mode, and outdoor mode. And then in addition to that, there's a custom wheel with like 8 different levels on there. Some people might enjoy this level of customization, but personally I would have rather just seen one mode that automatically cancels out as many frequencies as possible, making it simpler for the end user. With that being said, I thought the noise canceling overall was very good. Most ambient sound is canceled out, and voices become very quiet, but still audible. It is worth noting that these are very good in terms of passive noise cancellation, so there isn't as much of a difference between the normal and ANC modes as with some other true wireless earbuds. As for transparency mode, I do like that you can choose between voices only and all sounds, because let's say you're out for a run, you might want to hear the vehicles approaching. On the other hand, if you're commuting or just in a generally noisy environment, it might be nice to only have the voices amplified. In my experience, both modes worked fairly well. So, with all these various modes, touch controls become even more important now. But unfortunately, Soundcore has not changed a lot in this area. There are still a total of 4 different controls: double tap and long press on each earbud. You can switch between ANC, transparency, and normal modes, but you cannot switch between, for example, transport, indoor, and outdoor modes. For this, you'll have to go to the Soundcore app or set up a widget. And that's why I would have really liked to seen single and triple tap options. But maybe, just maybe, Soundcore will add those in a future firmware update. Another letdown for me is the lack of multi-point connection. This means that every time you want to switch devices, you'll have to manually disconnect from one device and then connect to the other. It's not a deal breaker at this price range, but it still would have been really nice to have. Speaking of connectivity, these have excellent wireless range. Outside, in a direct line of sight, I was able to achieve over 200 feet of distance between my iPhone XR and my Soundcore Liberty Air 2 Pro with no cutouts. That is superb. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about microphone quality. This was one of the headlining features with the old Air 2s, and Soundcore has once again upped their game. There are now 3 microphones on each earbud, and in my opinion, it picks up my voice pretty well. But I'm going to let you be the judge. Take a listen. This is a test of the Soundcore Liberty Air 2 Pro microphone, or should I say, microphones. Let me know what you think about the microphone quality with a comment down below. As we wrap up this review, I have to talk about value. At $130, there are a lot of really solid true wireless earbuds on the market, including some from Soundcore themselves. But I think these are absolutely worth it. Unless multi-point connection is a deal breaker for you, I cannot recommend Soundcore's Liberty Air 2 Pro enough. If you feel like supporting the channel, feel free to use the Amazon affiliate links in the description below, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future news or reviews inside the world of Anker. Thanks for watching.